Hi, in this video we're going to have a look at PhotoView 360. Now what that is basically it allows you to see the model you've created as a real life image and will generate a picture of that. So before you can do anything you have to make sure they're turned on, so go to add-ins, on Photo 360, hit OK, and right click up here, also make sure that render tools is ticked. If it's not ticked, click it, okay? And we'll be doing a lot of working in here. Now usually we're used to working over here in the design tree. With Photo 360 we're going to be looking here on the display manager most of the time, and in particular in here in the camera. So there's two views you'll have. One will be in the SOLIDWORKS normal view, and the other one is in the Photo 360. This is SOLIDWORKS we're looking at now. If I wanted to create a picture of that without doing anything, and you could do that too, you could hit integrated preview up here. Now I just hit OK there because usually it asks me usually it asks, would you like to or advise you to turn it into isometric view or something like that. Now, so if I let the computer generate a real life image of that with that lighting, just a bog standard one, that's what it would look like. Okay. Now you can always change these, okay, or play around with them there as you see fit. Okay. So we're back in the SOLIDWORKS view there now. Now, before we go on and do any more, just to give you an example, this is a couple of projects here from last year. Okay, so you just see a snippet of this on the screen there of these. So they're just showing different features of the models there. Okay, this is another one. I'll just downsize this screen so you can see it a bit better. And if I drag that in there, and I'll drag that up here. So it's just showing off different features. Okay, and you should have a main 3D one in the middle. Okay. So let's go back to the SOLIDWORKS now. So depends which kind of view you might have this view on, shaded with edges, or you might have just the shaded one. Okay, so I'll leave this one on for the time being. Now they just basically want you to see that you will go in there, integrate a preview after you've adjusted some of the settings, and if you're happy with an image, let's say I'm happy with that one, okay, then I'll hit final render over here. Now down here on the bottom it's showing some ones that I earlier made. Okay, now I can, even if that's zoomed out a bit, I can crop it, the picture in PowerPoint, and then I can blow it up. Okay, but if I was happy with that there now, I can go and I can save the image there. Okay, so if I hit save image now, and I'll save that to my desktop, and I'll just call it number 1, and I hit save, that picture now should be on my desktop. So when you come around to doing your PowerPoint after a while, you would be able to just pop the 5 pictures into that. Okay. Now let's go back to the SOLIDWORKS for a minute. So I'm going to come out of that, close that, back into my SOLIDWORKS, and I'll just close that there. Sorry. So I just come out of that. Now I'm back in SOLIDWORKS here at the minute. If I want to go in and get a different picture, let's say of the underside there, again I hit integrated preview, and if I'm happy with the picture, then I'll hit final render and save that. But they do want to see that you have played around with the settings somewhat. So if you go in here to the camera, there's different things you can do. Like for example, you can turn off these lights here. So it's like a studio with lights, and you can turn off the different lights, and you can see that it's getting darker and darker there in SOLIDWORKS. And if I turned off that light as well, that'd be like turning off all the lights in the room. Okay, so maybe you just might want to have 1 or 2 lights on. Okay, totally up to yourself. And you can also go in here and you can edit the directional lights if you wanted to. So you can play around with that there and get the desired effect you have. A lot of the time though you would have most of the lights on, to be honest. So I'll just turn on these again. I'll turn on these. Now also in the Photo 360 there, some of the lights were turned off. So you can go in there and turn them on as well. Okay. And other things there that you can do is you can go in here, say for example, and we'll just go in and actually I'll just play around with the lights here for a second. So if I go in and edit directional light here, this one, as I said there a minute ago, you can drag that over to show it. Now unless this guy is turned off, it won't have such a great effect. Okay, so when you are in there though with that light, there's different things you can play around with that. So you have the option there of adjusting in the Photo 360 and in the SOLIDWORKS. Okay, Now, if I could here turn up the brightness of this one, so you can see the object getting way brighter there. Okay, and then I can hit OK there. I'm happy with that. So let's say I want to take a view of this now, see what that looks like with that light at it. There it will be there. Now the problem here with this is the background is very dull, so you'd want to play around with the background as well. So I'll click that again to come out of it, and you could go in here into the scene backgrounds. Okay, so you can add in a background there, whatever you want. So I'll go over here, scenes, basic scenes. You've all these different kinds here. So I'll just drag out this one here, a basic scene if I wanted to. Okay, and so go up here. You can edit these, edit scene. Okay, so there's different kind of settings there that you can play around with. Most of them are okay. You wouldn't really. You can go in here and you can do something like get a gradient if you want. You could just pick a plain color. You could hit gradient. So if I go in here, I could pick, maybe we'll say I'll just change it to that. Hit OK, and you could leave it with blue and white if you wanted to. Now, to be honest with you, if I was doing the DCG project, what I would prefer to do is leave it like that there. I have another SolidWorks model opened here. I made this table literally within about 5 minutes, so I find it easier sometimes and more realistic to have it in, like in real life. You'd be using a mouse on the surface. So if I want to, I made that part, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make an assembly, a quick assembly here. New assembly. Okay. And what I'm going to put in it here is I'm going to put in the Beachtop desktop that I made, and I've emailed this out to you, all of you, for example. So whatever it is from year to year. Last year we made quick kitchen. It's totally up to yourself, time dependent, of course. I'll put in the insert components now into it. I'm going to put in the mouse, and I'll just click it off up there. And the only setting I'm going to make is really what I want is I'm going to have this guy mated to down here. And that's it. After that, then I can drag in the mouse on the desk. Okay. Close the mate. Drag him in over here a bit. I might rotate him around till you get the desired effect you're looking for. And it's up to yourself. You don't have to do this. You can stay with the studio backgrounds if you want. But for example, I might just put in that there now, and then I could still go in here and I could put in a background onto this if I wanted to, so you can pick whatever one you want. Okay, and let's just see what that'll look like. Then I could go in again. I could play around with the lights here. Okay, so turn on them there. I can turn on the in Photo View 360 the lights as well. So I might just take, we'll say, a picture of that there, and we'll see what that looks like. So go into Render Tools again, Integrated Preview. So I suppose it just makes it something different. You don't even have to make that desk. If you didn't want to, you could just have a piece of timber under it, whatever you want yourself. But try and get the best images you're happy with. I suppose you're trying to show it off as good as you can. So if I go back here to the 5 images again, like look how simple they were from last year. Okay, or this girl here with another excellent job done on our project. So up to yourselves, pick whichever views you're happy with, and when you have your view open there. Sorry, let's go into the other one. If I was happy with that there on the desktop, we hit the integrated preview, and it does take a moment to generate it. So if you're want to turn around the object, you often find you're better off coming out of this. So you can have it there like that. And if you're happy with that, then you can hit final render. So you're trying to show off the main picture should be the main body, and then you might be showing off a few different things like the wheel, or if you have action buttons on the side, or if you have other stuff going on the bottom, like this mouse does here. So for this one down here, it's got the cover. You could even show a picture with the cover off, perhaps, if I wanted to. So we'll just hide that for a minute. And it has the Logitech USB key here on the inside. So I might take a picture of that as well. So it's up to yourself. Get your 5, 6 best images, save them, and then pop them into your PowerPoint, and that's your output 6 done. And it'll do the same then for when you're doing it in output 7 as well. Okay. In this video, I just want to show you how you can pick a specific object on the object and focus in on that. So if you go over here to camera, you can right click and add in a camera, and you can see over here on the left hand side the camera splits the screen. You can zoom in or out like that, okay, but at the minute that point there is selected up on top. Now let's say for example I wanted just a point on the wheel to become the focus, and I can zoom out on that now, and you can see then that no matter which way, we get a bit closer view here. So if you click on either the left or right, it starts working on that screen then as well. But if I hover around this now, the point of focus is that point on the top of the wheel. Now even though it's color there, don't worry, when you go into integrated preview and to make your photo, it will not it will not have that blue dot on it. Okay, so it's just something handy there I thought you should know. And if you will always have, once you create that camera, if you open there you'll see the extra camera you created, and you can go down here in your views and you can hit that if you want to get back to that point again, and you can add in as many of them cameras as you want. Okay, so it does give sometimes a nicer view of the object. Thank you.